Coffee with Casper. Here's Casper right here. Come on. Oh no, there's that big boy. There's that big boy. Careful, don't knock everything over. There's a good doggy boy. There's a good doggy boy. Good morning, good morning. We're believing we're on Facebook Live. Let's see what's happening here. YouTube has started. We're looking to see what's happening here. We should be live. Looking for live, please. On Facebook, we got 8:28. We're just gathering. I do not see Facebook yet. Doesn't mean it's not there. Come on. We're playing. I'm not seeing anything. There we go. Okay, come on now. And there we are. We are live with Coffee with Casper. All right. Good morning, everybody. Now I can good morning from North Carolina. Good morning, the Knowles from Idaho, from McCall, Idaho. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. We are glad to see you all. Hugs from Salt Lake City. All right, nice to see you from Las Vegas, while currently in Tucson. And there's Jeff from North Carolina. Good to see everybody. Good to see you. Good morning, good morning. We're glad you're here. It's 8:29. Casper, come on over and say hi. Casper, come on. Come on over and say hi. Everybody didn't get to see you. Come on up. That boy. Come on, say hi. There's a Casper boy. You get all the way over here. That boy. There's a good doggy. There's a smiley face dog, huh? There's a good boy. You say hi to all your people out there? There they are. Okay. Good morning, good morning. All right. We got 8:30. It's Coffee with Casper. Here we go. We want you to know wherever you're tuning in around the world, we're glad you're here. We're gathering together to see how we can help support an awakening world. And you and I are an avenue through which that's happening. We call ourselves light workers because we're in the light, as the light, with the light, and we're working with the light. And so it is. Good morning, good morning. All right, so let's everybody take a deep breath. Let that sound And one more deep breath. Let that breath rise up into your heart center. Relax your shoulders. And just give yourself permission for this 20 minutes to be together, to look for a new thought and inspiration, something that might be empowering to you or to someone you know and love. And that's how it goes. So today, we've had such an interesting week. We were able to do the service for our departed friend, the Reverend Dr. David Fears, with his Inspirational Living Center of Orange County. So I've just been talking to folks within the last couple of days, and now we're back talking to you guys. Good morning from Palm Springs. Good morning from Northern California. Nice to see you this morning. Let your comments fly in on the line there because I can see you on Facebook. One of the things we like you to do is share this video. If you find something inspirational happens today, share it anywhere you can. The other thing that would be beneficial if you went onto YouTube and found Coffee with Casper, this episode or any other, and subscribed. You don't have to go there to look at it, but at least we then will start getting a law of attraction happening on YouTube. So today, what I wanted to talk about was the language of God. Fortunately, I have many friends, but I have friends who actually say to me, "You seem like you talk to God." And I always think it's flattering and nice, but everybody talks to God. It's just some people are more aware of it than others. And God is always talking to you. And some people are more aware of it than others. And God loves everybody equally. There's no such thing as a favorite in God because we're all born in the one, as the one, from the one, with the full potential of the one. So the self loves itself eternally because it is what I am and I am what it is. It's opening to that love and moving into the communion with that love that connects us to enthusiasm, entheos, to be in God, and it connects us to inspiration, inspiritization. When we recognize that we're threefold beings, mind, body, and spirit, spirit, soul, and body, then we know that if you just participate with your ego nature and your body nature, you're certainly not participating with your whole self. The whole self is spirit, soul, and body. So we need to, in order to be fulfilled, there's no need, there's no demand, because God is already happy, God is already whole and complete. So there's no demands. It's a challenge for each of us to come into the glory and the ease and grace that is the nature of being birthed as the child of the Most High, as the image of the Most High, recreated in its image. And that image is that which I inspire, that which Spirit brings to me, and I consciously conceive. That conscious conceiving is making an impress on the law of the circle, or the law of mind, that which receives the impress of our thought and acts upon it, and it comes out into our experience in body. And all of them are equal, and all of them are valuable, and it takes all of them to become greater than the sum total of the parts. What I am is much greater than the sum total of all the parts that I am, yes? And so here we wanted to talk about how then do I come in, do you and I come personally in to a good morning, good morning. Well, Casper got some good mornings too. There you go. He's got quite the fan club. You know how that goes. We speak to God, to the source, to self, to energy, this inner dialogue that we have. Sometimes you hear the chattering of your mind, or what the Buddhists call the monkey mind, or what we in New Thought would call the repetition, the neurotic repetition of the same thoughts happening again and again. It is said that 98% of our thinking is pattern thinking. It's something that you've already thought. I love turning that around. That means you have a 2% shot at finding a thought you haven't had before. And so that's where the communion with the infinite comes in, because it's not automatic that you grow and respond. You have to align with that upward, forward spiral of evolution. You have to align with it so that your circle, that your journey, as you're spiraling up into the reality of self-realization, that your journey is constantly expanding. And that does not happen by relying on the 98% old thoughts. It requires that we invite the universe, the cosmos, that divine self of ourselves to, the words I use are guide, guard, protect, direct, and lead me into the paths of perfect right action. That I need to be guided so that I don't misstep as I grow. Well, we're all going to misstep along the way until we learn to listen to that still small voice that we know is the voice of intuition, which I agree with the philosopher Ernest Holmes, as the voice of intuition is the voice of God within the human being. And so that voice is always there, and it's always speaking to us, but it's not always speaking to us with words. Remember, the language of God, we speak to God with words, and that's the way we should. We speak to God or Source with words. That's how we clarify our intention, and that's how we know what we're thinking about, rather than just a mishmash of thoughts. It's becoming conscious of what we're thinking about, being mindful of what we're aware about, and then that conscious awareness forms the word, right? I now know I would like. For example, as you know, I'm a seaman, and so if you're a seaman, you'd like a boat. So you form an intention to manifest a boat, and then you start at the level that you're at, and then you move from there. If boat is still becoming one of the things you desire, you keep working on that boat. Now, so for 25 years or more, I've had a boat. Not the same boat, because my consciousness keeps changing, and I keep expanding what I mean by boating, by being able to boat, yes? That's just an example. It would be the same thing if you're looking at cars, or if you're buying your first house, or if you're buying a new sofa for your home. You have to form the intention, then the intention forms a word, and the word says, this is the kind of couch that I want, and then the universe responds by sending you a couch. Now, it may end up sending you a couch that's better than the one you were originally envisioning, because that's the nature of the divine, to always take your intent and grow it. Just like it takes a seed, puts it in the soil, that's the intent, and then it grows it. And the whatever it is that comes from the seed is much larger than the seed itself. Yes? The universe is working with us to expand, but we need to become conscious of it. So when we say, today is the day, for example, and these are good affirmations, you can save them and write them down and begin to put them in your own consciousness. I find them very valuable. Today, I am alive, awake, aware, joyous, and enthusiastic about living. Today, I'm led into the paths of perfect right action. Today, I'm expanding my good. Good and more good is mine. There's no limit to the good that is mine. That every day, I have to bring these affirmations. My friend David Fears talked about the map. Meditation, affirmation, and prayer, right? Affirmative prayer. Meditation, affirmation, and prayer. I am the one that must keep those languages through words and my communion with the divine conscious in my awareness. Now, the universe is going to speak to you, because the universe is everything, right? The universe responds as everything. So sometimes you say, did you see that dolphin jump? Did you see the sun come through the cloud right at that moment? Did you feel that wind touch my face right as I was talking about my love of the divine? Did you feel it happens with did you hear the birds sing right when the word spoke? Did you see, it can happen through anything. It can be the wind, the sun, the birds, the animals. The clouds can part. The clouds can form a formation. Shadows can make a shape. Rain can fall. Waves can arrive or change form or shape. There are so many ways the universe responds to you, because the universe uses everything to respond to you. And it's guiding you to opening yourself up to more than this narrow seeing that we often do. I want a car and I see only this car, and I keep holding that car. And the universe might have a better car for you, except you keep holding that one in your mind, right? You need to open yourself to know that which you are intending, and that which you have formed the word on, that which you've gotten clear about and have said unto the universe. Remember, ask. We're told by one of the greatest souls who ever lived, you should ask. You should ask for what it is that you want. That means form the word, right? And then the word acts upon the creative soil of mind, or creative mind, or the law of the circle, whatever terms you like. And that it turns back to us in the answer at every level. From our innermost goosebumps or God bumps, to the way the wind touches our face, to the way the sun bursts through the clouds. There are so many ways that the universe talks to you. So I'll give you another example where we can see this more directly, because the people in your experience, those people you call friends, are also part of God's answer, to God's response, God's mechanism to reach you. Yes? It was a wonderful group in the 70s. They were a married couple. They didn't stay married, but they were a married couple. The group was called Orleans. And they wrote some beautiful music. You might remember, if you're old enough, the song "You're Still the One." Was a big hit. And there was another hit called "You've Got to Reach a Little Bit Higher." And I love the poetry in that song, "You've Got to Reach a Little Bit Higher." And here was the lyric: "You've got to reach a little bit higher to get a hold of all that you desire." Right? You've got to reach a little bit higher to get a hold of all that you desire. And you may have a vision, or you may have a friend who will come to you and say the same words again. You've got to reach a little bit higher to get a hold of all that you desire. So if we look at that in terms of the creative process, whatever it is that you're seeking. Now, we usually talk about these 4 areas of life: health, wealth, love, and creative expression or fulfilling purpose, yes? So whatever it is that you're working on in the area of health, if you're restoring yourself to health, or if you're seeking a new level of health, in order to do it, you're going to have to reach a little bit higher and then move your activity level to match that little bit higher. Look, speaking of universe talking, here comes a bee just with some kind of message. We'll have to see what it is. It's saying the universe can speak from everywhere, right? It's coming to you from everywhere. Things are buzzing around your mind, and you have to get clearer about what it is that you want, right? In health, what do you mean by more money? And more money is not a fixed amount of money. It's a state of consciousness, because money is liquid. It's energy, congealed, right? So it's going to flow according to your consciousness, yes? So we have to keep raising and consciousness does not raise itself automatically. You have to choose to be expanding. You have to choose to grow. And since we are the smaller, the finite inside the infinite, we don't know how to guide ourselves. It is the divine self of ourselves, the larger aspect of ourselves, that is calling us forward. That's why we talked before about trope, which is to turn to that divine self and let it guide you in the ways that it's seeking to guide you, and in all the various forms that it's seeking to guide you. So we go back to the little poem. In order to get a hold of all that you desire, you need to reach a little bit higher. You may have a vision, right? Now, if you get a divine inspiration, or you get a clear knowing of what is yours to do, or you have a hunch, and then something within you says, yes, that's the right hunch, that's a divine inspiration. That's a divine inspiration that is flowing through you. And when you have that kind of vision, you got to follow it. And sometimes you'll be working on something, and a friend will pop over. And the friend will say, well, da-da-da-da-da, if you were going to do that, shouldn't you turn your attention this way or that way? And the answer is yes, because the friend is also an aspect of the divine coming to you because you already have an open heart to that soul, bringing you an idea that was outside of your consciousness, but you're vibrating right there, so close enough that that idea can guide you forward. The vision can guide you forward. You can be called forward. Sometimes when we're stuck and we're doing our same routines over and over again, we don't realize that we're stuck, and it's our friend who say, let's go out, let's go do something, right? And of course, in the COVID, we couldn't do that, but now you might have had your friends reaching out to you on Zoom. You don't know where the inspiration is going to come from, but it can come from anywhere. And one of the places it comes from is from your friends. And your friends will always be pointing. They may not use those exact words, but they'll say, well, your vision about what it is that you want, what it is you're seeking is not clear enough. Or the actions that you could take toward the vision that you're seeking, you're not taking. And it would be a friend that would be saying that to you. It wouldn't be a vision, but don't you see the friend coming to you, working to help you clarify your own intention, is just as though it were God coming to you, helping to clarify your intention. And sometimes we're willing to listen to the burning bush and do what it tells us to do. And sometimes we can't see the burning bush, and we need a friend to say, hey, do you notice that bush burning right in front of you, giving you a divine inspiration, leading you in the direction of your own dreams, right? Sometimes you may have a vision, or you may have a friend. And this is why also we encourage the map, meditate and affirm. In other words, if we're not stilling ourselves and being clear and coming into a place of gratitude about the thing that we desire, then we're not going to hear the still small voice, which is getting louder because we're tuning into it better. It's not getting louder on its own. It's getting louder because you're choosing to tune into it better, right? And now you're choosing to listen to the divine. You're listening to the divine in the way that it touches you when the when the breeze touches your nose or your face or even your knees, right? And it says, this is the right direction. This is who you are. Sometimes it's the breeze. Sometimes it's the birds singing. Sometimes it's the movement of a raccoon that you weren't expecting. Sometimes it's a star that twinkles at you, or the moon pops through the clouds right at that perfect moment. There are so many, the infinite has an infinite amount of ways to communicate to you. The language of God is, from our perspective, from the perspective of being a human, the correct and right way to interrelate with the divine is to ask for that which you want. That means that you form the thoughts, you clarify in your conscious awareness what it is that you want. Then the next move is to seek it, to move toward it, right? What is the one thing you can do? What is the next step that you can take that will move you in the direction of that fulfillment? You have to ask, you have to seek, and then if it's not coming, we go back. As again, the philosopher Ernest Holmes used to say, he said, well, how often do you pray for the thing that you're seeking? And the answer is until you get it, because there's nothing in the universe withholding your good from you. Your good is intended, but each one of us becomes the avenue through which the consciousness of that good must be there first within us in order for us to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear when that good is arriving, or to move in the direction that the universe is giving us the signal to move in. Yes? How do I know the right and perfect path? The answer is you ask to be guided into the right and perfect path. Yes? And so this is what we're all doing. I see somebody says they use flowers. Absolutely, flowers. I mean, flowers are one of the great ways the universe talks to us. So many things, the way the water flows, the movement of the creek, so many avenues through which the divine is able to talk to you at so many levels, and the question is, are we listening? Yes? So this is ours to do, to become an avenue through which the greater good happens. And today's lesson is today's thought, today's idea for us to think about is, how can I more comfortably move to the fulfillment of my own dreams, goals, and desires? How can I more comfortably? And the answer is we clarify what it is do I want, what it is that I'm seeking in health, right? I love the idea of there's a perfect pattern. I'm born in the image of the wholeness of the perfect pattern, and my intention is to bring that perfect pattern into every cell of my being, in every function of every organ of my being, so that perfect assimilation and perfect circulation and perfect elimination are happening in every cell, in every organ, every function, and in the whole being itself. Always assimilating that which is new and fresh and vital, always circulating that throughout my whole being, and then eliminating that which no longer serves, to become into that perfect flow of the divine idea of radiant, vibrant, dynamic health, right? And perfect love. Love is not romantic love. Love is a place in your heart. It's people whom you care about. It's an opening to an endless stream of good. And what we want then is all of the people in our lives to be feeling that love from you, to know that love from you, and that through that love you are feeling the presence of love, that you're feeling yourself valuable and contributing and an honest gift to everybody whom you love in your experience, right? That your love is the gift, and therefore your having love is the gift, and being love is the gift, and that gift is already given. What we have to align our consciousness to it in the way that matches what we mean by that, yes? So health, wealth, love, money, how much, there's good and more good. There's no number. I mean, everybody's number is going to be different according to their consciousness and their desires and what's fulfilling for them. And there's no such thing as too much or too little, we notice, because we can't move in the world the way we want. But wealth means to be able to move in the world the way you want, and to have the substance and supply to be able to move in the world the way that you want. right? And whether that's clothing yourself, or entertaining yourself, or sharing love with others, or you're good with others, or food. I mean, and drink. There's so many ways to enjoy the opulence of life. We went recently, my wife and I went, took some friends who were part of her colleagues to lunch by the sea. And of course, I'm looking out at the sea, noticing every boat and every movement on the water, and the dolphins jumping, and this, that, and the other. And the folks, I'd say, oh, look at that. It wasn't a passion of theirs. They didn't notice boats, didn't really care much about the dolphins. Well, that's okay. There's a lot of ways to be entertained. There's a lot of ways to see the beauty in nature. There's a lot of ways to unfold, and no one way is better. The way that works for you, that's the good way for you, right? That this is a world where your individuality is given full room. In fact, you're given the opportunity to discover your individuality, your uniqueness in the world. It doesn't make you better than anybody else. It just means that your uniqueness is a gift to the universe, and the more that you open to that, the more of it you have. Yes? So that's what we're looking for, is to get more and more good into our life, in health and wealth and love, and in creative expression. You know, people say, well, I don't even know what my purpose is. Well, if you're working on fulfilling your goals, dreams, and desires, you're working on your purpose. Because through being conscious of your goals and dreams and desires, what you'd like to do, what feels like it would be creative, what would be empowering to you, the more you move in that direction, the more you are doing that, right? You become an avenue through which the very purpose you're seeking to fulfill is automatically happening through your daily life, and the daily fulfilling and growing into your potential. But growing into potential, again, does not happen automatically. You're a spiritual being. You have to align with the spirit of your own being. And in that alignment, draw forth the flow of youthful enthusiasm, of inspiritization, to be inspired, to be entheos, to be thrilled about the idea that you are co-creating with the divine through your thoughts, words, actions, and deeds every day. And obviously, if you pause to meditate, to be still, to clarify your consciousness, and then we begin to form those prayers. That's the word. We form the prayers of intention, in faith believing, in gratitude perceiving, right? As we move forward, our prayers are, thank you for making it so. Yes, I am so grateful that it is this way. And we are drawing from that which is the unseen, the infinite field of potential. We are drawing to us through the law of the circle, the law of creation, the fulfillment of our goals, dreams, and desires. And as we move in that direction, we discover that indeed we are on purpose, right? I don't know, everybody can name their purpose differently. And we might even change the way we name our purpose, right? But mine is right now pretty simple. It's how can I be an avenue through which healing happens? How can I be an avenue through which inspiration is brought forth in my life and the lives of those around me? How can I be an avenue through which my very presence helps uplift people, right? To heal, inspire, uplift, and bring forth more life. And when I frame it that way for myself at this time, that feels to me like it's fulfilling. And then as I grow in that, asking to be guided, guarded, protected, directed, and led into the paths of perfect right action, so that what? So that I may be conscious of the glory that I am, because as I am conscious of that, that light automatically moves through me into the world. The light that you are will automatically move through you into the world the more you attune yourself to the light. And the more you do that in your own consciousness, in what Jesus called the secret place of the Most High, I work with the divine and myself on the inside. Perfect love, perfect light, perfect truth in me, as me, through me. The gift of the I am that I am, already given, moving in me and as me and through me and out into the world. And the more I do that, the more light I am sharing in the world, the more blessings I am sharing in the world, the more love I am sharing in the world. And guess what? The more light you share, the more love you share, the more blessings you share, the more that increases in your life. You get more light, more love, and more blessings, and there is no limit to that good. Whew. Praise God. Praise you and me for being here for just a few minutes today to think on these things, to think on the glory of the creative process happening in me, and then to choose to be an avenue through which it's moving. And then to know that God is letting you know it's moving by means of goosebumps, by means of the breeze, by means of the birds singing, by means of Casper's smile, by means of the love that's in your life. It's happening all around you, to you and through you, but not randomly, but because you have chosen it. And everyone is free to choose. The more of us who are consciously choosing, the more inspiration we're bringing into the world, the more healing we're bringing into the world, and this is ours to do, to be an avenue through which the wholeness of the living spirit of the I am, that is the truth of all people, comes into the world until one day everybody knows it. So look for your inspiration, expect your inspiration, be an avenue of that inspiration, and let's all of us inspire more people together, because we will reach critical mass and will bring forth a new dawn and a new day for ourselves and for all humanity and the earth. Who you are is something special. Share this video wherever you can. Link up and subscribe on YouTube. Do what you can to help this word go out, to help the light shine through you, in you, as you, and around you. And today, I'm glad we had this time together. And until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Bye for now. Casper, you want to say bye one more time? Come on. Come on up. Come on up. Say goodbye. Come on up. That a boy. Bye. We'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Bye for now.